Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. For decades, American farmers thrived by feeding China's insatiable demand for pork, soybeans, and cotton. These exports became the backbone of rural economies, forging a powerful link between the heartland of America and the bustling cities of China. Every harvest, every shipment, was a testament to a partnership that seemed unbreakable. This trade pumped billions into rural America, sustaining entire communities. Local businesses flourished, schools and hospitals benefited, and generations of families built their lives around the promise of a stable market. The prosperity was visible everywhere, from busy diners to thriving equipment dealerships. But now, that lifeline has been severed. The once dependable flow of Chinese demand has slowed to a trickle, leaving uncertainty in its wake. Container ships once filled with U.S. crops now sit idle, as China deliberately turns away. Export terminals that once bustled with activity are eerily quiet, and the global supply chain feels the shockwaves. This isn't a temporary dip, it's a seismic geopolitical shift, leaving American agriculture in crisis. Farmers who once planned for growth now face hard choices about their future. Tens of billions in annual sales have vanished, devastating local economies. The ripple effects are felt everywhere. Jobs lost, businesses shuttered, and a sense of hope fading from rural landscapes. The hum of commerce has been replaced by silence and uncertainty. Once busy roads are now quiet, and the future feels more unpredictable than ever. The collapse stems from years of political brinkmanship and China's strategy to reduce reliance on the U.S. Trade wars, tariffs, and shifting alliances have all played a part in this unraveling. The American farmer is left to reap the bitter harvest of decisions made far from their fields. As the world's agricultural map is redrawn, the question remains, who will feed China next, and what will become of America's rural heartland? The U.S. Farm Belt, once the world's breadbasket, built its prosperity on China's demand. Farmers expanded, took on debt, and bet their futures on a booming Chinese market. Entire towns depended on the rhythm of Chinese purchases. When China bought, prices soared and rural America thrived. Now, that market is gone, and the impact is catastrophic. Soybeans sit unsold, prices have collapsed, and farm bankruptcies are rising. The model of American agriculture, built on scale and export, is broken. Machinery sales have plummeted, land values are falling, and debt is crushing families. For many, this isn't just a downturn, it's the end of a way of life. The Farm Belt faces a fight for survival. China's break from U.S. agriculture was no accident. It was a calculated response to trade wars and a long-term strategy. Tariffs targeted American farmers, inflicting maximum pain on a politically sensitive region. But beyond retaliation, China's dual circulation policy aims to boost domestic production and diversify imports. Chinese delegations forged new deals worldwide, building a resilient supply chain free from U.S. leverage. Massive investments in ag tech and domestic farming further reduced reliance on American crops. The American farmer, once indispensable, is now squeezed out by global competition and shifting Chinese priorities. As China shut out the U.S., a seismic shift began rippling through the global agricultural market. For decades, American farmers had been the backbone of China's food security, shipping millions of tons of soybeans, corn, and wheat across the Pacific. But as trade tensions escalated and tariffs took hold, China slammed the door on U.S. farm goods, leaving American grain elevators eerily quiet and farmers facing mounting uncertainty. Brazil quickly filled the void, stepping up as China's new agricultural powerhouse. Brazilian farmers ramped up production, planting soybeans across vast stretches of fertile land, eager to meet China's insatiable demand. With vast farmland and the ability to harvest multiple crops each year, Brazil's agricultural sector surged. The country's unique climate and innovative double cropping techniques allowed it to outpace competitors and become a global leader in soybean exports. Brazil became China's top soybean supplier, sending record shipments across the Atlantic. Ports buzzed with activity as cargo ships loaded with grain set sail for Chinese shores. Chinese investment poured into Brazilian infrastructure, funding new railways, highways, and port expansions. These projects not only sped up exports but also transformed Brazil's rural economy, creating jobs and boosting local communities. With modernized logistics, a steady flow of goods was guaranteed. Soybeans, corn, and other crops moved seamlessly from farm to port, ensuring China's food supply remained uninterrupted. Argentina and Russia also stepped up, eager to seize their share of the Chinese market. their farmers expanded acreage and invested in new technology to boost yields, signing long-term deals to supply soybeans, beef, and wheat. These countries locked in lucrative partnerships with China, reshaping their own agricultural sectors in the process. Beef, wheat, and soybean meal now flow steadily from South America and Russia to China, diversifying China's food sources and reducing its reliance on any single supplier. China's soy for infrastructure model locked in decades of supply from new partners, exchanging investment for guaranteed access to vital crops. This strategy has reshaped trade routes and deepened China's influence across the globe. Even minor grain exporters are now major players, as countries from Eastern Europe to Southeast Asia retool their economies to serve China's growing appetite. Their economies have reoriented to serve China, with local farmers adapting crops, packaging, and logistics to meet Chinese standards and preferences. The US is no longer irreplaceable. Its once dominant position has faded as new suppliers step in and global trade patterns shift. China has proven it can find alternatives, forging new alliances and building resilient supply chains that bypass the US entirely. This global realignment has permanently diminished America's role as the world's farmer, redrawing the map of agricultural power. The new agricultural order stretches from South America's lush fields to Russia's black soil, connecting continents in a web of trade. For US farmers, the message is clear: adapt or risk being left behind in a rapidly changing world. The world has moved on, and the future of farming now lies far beyond America's heartland. Behind the numbers lies a human crisis. For every statistic about tariffs and trade deficits, there are real people, families, struggling to survive. The impact of a trade war isn't just measured in dollars and cents, but in sleepless nights, lost dreams, and the slow unraveling of rural communities. Farmers face mounting debts, unsold crops, and evaporating incomes. Each season brings new uncertainty, as markets they once relied on vanish overnight. The bills keep coming, but the checks don't. Silos are full, but bank accounts are empty. The fruits of their labor sit unsold, while financial pressures mount with every passing day. Credit is drying up, and farm bankruptcies are surging. Lenders grow wary, and once trusted relationships with local banks are strained to the breaking point. Generational family farms are being sold off, ending lifetimes of work. The legacy of decades, sometimes centuries of farming is being lost, as families are forced to walk away from the only life they've ever known. The psychological toll is immense. Stress, anxiety, and a sense of betrayal run deep. Marriages are strained, and the stigma around mental health makes it even harder to seek help. Farmers feel abandoned, sacrificed in a global trade war they never chose. Many feel powerless, caught in the crossfire of decisions made far from their fields. Conversations in rural diners are filled with fear for the future. Neighbors share stories of hardship, and hope feels in short supply. Older farmers worry about retirement. Many fear they'll never be able to step away, forced to work well into old age, just to keep afloat. Younger ones question if they have a future at all. Some wonder if it's time to leave the land behind and start over somewhere new. "We did everything we were asked," says one Iowa farmer. "We worked hard, invested in our farms, and played by the rules. Now, it seems like nobody cares." The pain of being forgotten is as real as any financial loss. Across the Farm Belt, a way of life is slipping away. The true cost of a trade war is written not just in economic reports, but in the faces and stories of those who call these fields home. Washington responded with massive bailout payments, offering temporary relief but no real solution. Billions were distributed, but critics say the largest farms benefited most, while small family operations struggled. The bailouts created a new dependency, with farmers relying on government checks instead of market prices. Efforts to find new export markets have yielded only modest gains. No country can replace China's demand. Domestic initiatives like biofuels and bioplastics are being discussed, but progress is slow. For farmers, these measures feel reactive and inadequate. The crisis is now, but solutions are years away. The government's response has yet to address the fundamental restructuring of global agriculture. The future of the Farm Belt is uncertain. The era of relying on a single massive buyer is over. Even if relations with China improve, the US will compete with Brazil, Argentina, and Russia for a smaller share. The get big or get out model may no longer work. Industry consolidation will likely continue, hollowing out rural communities. Yet crisis can spark innovation. A shift toward local, diversified, and specialty farming could offer resilience. Smaller, more agile farms may thrive by serving regional markets and embracing new technologies. The Farm Belt must adapt. Its survival depends on reinvention. The lesson is clear. Never again put all your eggs in one basket.